Shark attack! I gotta shut that down. I don't want to get a copyright for that. Jaws, yeah. Yeah, it's Jaws. So the much sought after special edition Narragansett can. Well, case. It's the old logo on the can, but it's the special Jaws edition. Yeah, crush it like Quint, right? The Quint character, of course, loved drinking Narragansett when they were hunting sharks, like 1975 when that movie came out. Jaws, right? So I got a 12 pack from my friend Mike. He's a local guy here in my town. I actually work with Mike. We both have a shitty commute, and he's over at Cape Cod with his family, and I went over to take care of his cats for the weekend, so he was nice enough to leave me that little gift right there. So speaking of the Gansett, yeah, and there's Belinda. She's up there with Eddie Grant now. She's going through men like cards on a Vegas table. All right, so what do we got here? Of course, we have Narragansett. This is a tall boy. Yeah, and it's good. I'm hanging out with Jerome the giraffe. We got the butler over here. And of course, the three owl guys, they're always here. And I don't know what the butler's up to. He was working yesterday. He was butlering on July 4th, helping out. We had some friends over, so I had my butler doing stuff for us. So, yeah. So, yes, it is a Friday. Cheers. Kind of confused because it was a weird week. I traveled with Patty. She's accepted a new position in the company's headquarters is in Buffalo, New York. So we took a little trip. We've driven by Buffalo, New York several times when we go that way because her parents live in southwestern Ontario. So you cross at Niagara Falls and it's right there. But yeah, it was really nice. We stayed right downtown. Of course, I found a record store right here called Revolver. It was amazing. I'm going to get to that in a minute. But for right out of the gate here, I wanted to let everybody know in Metro West, the local record store has reopened. Deja Vu Records. Yeah, the owner, she's a little nuts, but I don't know what happened there. It was closed for like 6 months, and then it was open all of a sudden. I ran into my friend Stan. He doesn't have a channel, but he'll be at the party on July 20th. He lives out here in Metro West, and I saw him at that record show a couple weeks ago in Marlboro, and he's like, Mike, you won't believe it. I said, what? And he said, wow, Deja Vu's open again. And I'm like, well, okay. So I went there, and I picked up a few things. So, yeah, I picked this up for like $5. Got a little, pops and hisses on it, but it's still a pretty clean copy for $5. It's Some Girls, right? And it's Precursor right here. I had Black and Blue on CD. So yeah, pretty cool. Followed up by, I think it was followed up by Emotional Rescue, and then of course they're on Tattoo You and da-da-do, right? So anyway, it's the Stones, and it's Some Girls, right? Yeah, pretty cool artwork on this. I don't know if Andy Warhol did this. You can flip it side to side and you get different pop-ups, in that hair catalog looking thing. And of course, on the inside, there's the Stones logo. Yes, Colton. Jeez, he just bit my arm. I think the heat's getting to him. Even with air conditioning, Colton's fur coat doesn't really work out. Yeah, and then this one too, I got that same day. Flowers right here. I'm not sure the date on this one. Still was Brian Jones, so I think this is like 1965. Ruby Tuesday, Lady Jane. It's just really good psychedelic era Stones. I love it. And again, this was a little more expensive. She charged me $6 for this, but after I cleaned it up, this plays really amazing. She was really underselling as she does. This store makes no sense. Nothing's priced. You walk in, she just buys collections and flips them. There's Colton's ass. And that's how she operates. So you just walk up with your stack and you sort of think you know what you're going to pay, but then you always pay less, right? So it's good bargain shopping. And lastly, I got this. It's the first Eddie Grant album. I think this cover's different than the one you see in the UK. It's called Message Man from 1977. So it's his debut. Just solid pop reggae. Anybody that watches my channel know that I enjoy the reggae beats. And there's more pop, but I mean, it works. It's fun. Put this on at a party. You won't scare people away, right? Curfew. Get Down Trinidad. That's a fun song. Neighbor, Neighbor. Only listened to this through once because I was away this week. And this shopping spree was last Saturday. So kind of like last Sunday, I was just sitting around. It was a shitty rainy day. And just listening to some music, right? Colton's digging into those. All right, and then I shuffled off to Buffalo. So this store that I just mentioned, Revolver Records, so Patty and I, to drive, just to give it perspective, when we drive door to door to her parents, it's about 8 hours because it's about an hour and a half west of Toronto. So by the time you cross the border and go around there, so Buffalo door to door from here, it's probably a solid six and a half hours. On a plane, 40 minutes. It was great. So anyway, we were there and stayed at a nice hotel downtown. I just Googled record stores, found Revolver, saw it was about a 2-mile walk. I'm up for that because I like exercise. So it was hot though, but once I got there to the store, I cooled down in the AC and I did a dig for about 2 hours. So I'm gonna kind of do a two-parter here because I bought so much stuff. Colton, no plastic for you, and I got this Nancy Sinatra album for $4. So I don't know where I put the sleeve for this, but I'm going to show an example. Everything at this store is cataloged, and you can order from them online. Again, Revolver Records. It's new and used, both. So when I went into the store, he's got 3 locations in Buffalo. The main level was all new. Then you went up a few stairs where the cash register was, and he was looking out at the store. That was all the used area. So I kind of focused mainly on that, and I did a big dig, and I found this Sinatra album. It plays great. It's amazing. Bought it mainly for the song Bang Bang. Of course, that was in Kill Bill, Volume 1. That's Quentin Tarantino, my favorite filmmaker of all time. It's just great. I may watch it again tonight, just inspired here by Nancy. And she's saying, how does that grab you? I'd say, well, as they say on the back here, how does it grab you? It grabs us good, right? It's grabs us good, says all the people. Lovey tunes and Marvy melodies. All of them grabbed with meaning. All of them sung by the niceness of Nancy. All of them like to mess your head forevermore. Wow, smoke 'em if you got 'em, Nancy. Wow, she looks great, doesn't she? So Bang Bang, right? Great tune, great movie. Kill Bill. All right, so this is an example of what I'm saying at Revolver, what they do. The grading of the records. So I talked to this guy that was working there. He's a longtime employee. They had another location, which is kind of their main, where they sort. It's a retail store, but that's where they sort everything and disperse it to the other 2 stores in the greater Buffalo area. And the ratings, I mean, right down to a $3 record, they had a rating. And I've breezed through these since we got home Wednesday night, late afternoon. And the gradings are totally accurate. This Jerry Jeff Walker album is usually beat to shit. I'm so happy I found it. This was the follow-up to Viva Terlingua, which is pretty much a masterpiece in my mind. If you like outlaw country, this is what you need. So this album, again, like it's titled, it's a good night for singing. You can see his buddy there in the background. In the bar, there's Guy Clark and his wife, Susanna. So backup vocals, I think, on this album is Jerry Jeff Walker's wife, whose name is Susan. And a couple of the tracks in here. So you can see how it's graded here. VG++, and it was $8. Fairly priced, if there was a fair price ever. There it is. And there he is with his wife, Susan, right there. Jerry Jeff, he passed in 2020. But look at the quality of this. It's almost like it was in the shrink. Like glossy, boom, pops out. The colors. So inside you just have the lyric sheet. So really good ballad on here, though, that I'd recommend. It's a Gary Nunn composition. It's called Couldn't Do Nothing Right. And I believe it's his wife, Susan, singing backup and kind of almost like a duet on that one. So yeah, Couldn't Do Nothing Right, the name of that track. So that's Jerry Jeff Walker, and it's a good night for singing. Yeah, it will be on July 20th right here at MGK headquarters. That's right. Yeah, all right. So anyway, a little more country, a little Bobby Bear, a promo copy here. Looks like it was a radio station copy because the logo is WCVF, are the call letters for that radio station, wherever that is. I always like to look them up when I see it's from it could be some college radio station. Where was that, right? So clearly on the East Coast, if it starts with a W with the call letters. So it's Bobby Bear, 1976. Just called self-titled Bobby Bear. He'd been at it about a dozen years at this point. But this is really solid. Very interesting note on here. The tune on here, he does the first version ever of, right there, The Gambler. Heard it a million times. I mean, I struggled to get through it. He does a great version of The Gambler on here. It was written by, I can't think of the songwriter's name. I kind of dug into the history of it a bit. It was a struggling songwriter. He was, might have been in college still in Nashville at the time, and he was just trying to get a song, publish a tune, sell it to somebody. Bobby Bear did it, and I think with Kenny Rogers, the story goes, he heard Bobby Bear's version and was like, I'm going to pick that up. And I'm sure the kid that wrote that tune, he made a ton of cash. Hopefully he did, because that tune by Kenny Rogers, everybody knows it. It's legendary. I mean, there wouldn't be a karaoke bar on planet Earth without The Gambler. All right, yeah, says the king of karaoke sitting right here. Anyway, it's Bobby Bear. Other ones on this one, The Guitar Is For Sale. Too Many Nights Alone. This is just really good honky tonk. Really great stuff by Bobby Bear. I don't see if there's a promo label on the inside. Yeah, it's white label right there, and you can see someone's written WCCVF, the colors of that radio station I was talking about. White label, promo, Bobby Bear, and that was another one, $3, and marked good, plus, plays great. So this is one here, that's the last one. Yeah. So I had a CD copy of Oral Sculpture Forever. Bought that. That was one of the first CDs I bought when CDs came out in the late 80s. And then I had a vinyl copy. And it was one of those, I've been kind of coming back, buying some records that I have from the 80s when I grew up, like my high school, college years, records that were lent and I didn't get back kind of thing, or I moved, whatever happens, right? So I had that CD copy, but when I saw this and it was $10 and it was marked mint for $10, I thought, really, mint? Come on. The sleeve there's a little wear on it. I don't get hung up with that stuff. It's the way the record sounds. That's where it ends for me, right? But again, the artwork, it looks great. Colton's down here. Get out of there. Get out of there, Colton. The plastic. So again, rated mint. There they are on the inside here, right? This is my favorite era, the Stranglers. That might be a controversial statement to some. Mike PC31, the Vinyl Policeman, he's shown a ton of Stranglers, and he's a very knowledgeable guy on the Stranglers. I came to the party late with them because around 10th, 11th grade, I heard this album, and then the follow-up, Dreamtime, and those two records, I really love them. It's just, from a great time in my life. And again, on this one, Skin Deep was a huge single. North Wind's Blowing is a great tune. Under the Name of Spain, Punch and Judy. You could put this on at a party, and people are going to be like, yeah, what's that vibe? Because it's just got a really cool vibe. And it's the Stranglers, right? So that's going to do it for a Friday Cheers. Cheers to you. Cheers to Colton, and cheers to everybody else out there. So I may do a part 2 of the finds I found in Buffalo over the weekend. But yeah, we're into a heat wave again today. It feels like it's hot, man. But we're in here chilling in the AC in Colton's area, where our shared area, if you will. So anyway, watch out for sharks. And I'll also leave a link. Matt Street did a thing about that whole Narragansett thing, and it was pretty funny, where he was driving around liquor stores in Rhode Island. He lives down near the Rhode Island border, and I'll leave a link to that. Pretty funny. So anyway, yeah, whatever you're doing, have fun. See you next time.